all of the rain and the severe weather that is happening off to the west. In fact, as we take a look at this severe threat for today, we are not included in it at all, but unfortunately you can see that some parts of the Mid-South in a level 4 for strong to severe weather, and this is a large stretch of the west that is included into this severe threat for today, and we're seeing those storms actively happening in that same area. Here's a look at that satellite and radar. It's happening outside right now, stretching back from Houston all the way up past Cincinnati, Ohio. We are seeing this large low pressure system really dumping a lot of rainfall and causing some severe weather as well. As we take a closer look, there's numerous tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings as well, flash flood warnings, active flash flood warnings, and flash flooding happening right now. As we take a closer look here towards Alabama, we're starting to see some isolated showers there, but we are not seeing any rainfall at all here at home. Just nice, dry, and quiet skies. And this is going to continue to be the case as we head throughout the rest of today and to start tomorrow for some of us. Here's a look at the time lapse from today. It has been absolutely gorgeous outside. Very beautiful cumulus clouds rolling through the sky. Very little cloud cover as far as really keeping those temperatures down. We almost broke a record today with our high temperatures, but it was absolutely gorgeous out there. This is the type of day that you really want to enjoy, especially for the Braves home opening weekend as well as 404 weekend. So this is a nice treat for us, but things are going to be changing for tomorrow. Our temperatures outside, 84 degrees in Atlanta on a Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m. That is definitely a very warm evening, and those warm temperatures will be continuing. The Braves are getting ready to play in a few minutes. It should be the first pitch, but temperatures are going to continue to be into the low 80s for most of the evening. And even as we head into tomorrow morning, those temperatures will be a little bit elevated. It's going to be a little bit warm out there, probably kind of sticky. That cloud cover is going to be in effect, but we won't be seeing a lot of widespread rain here in Atlanta just yet, but it's going to be headed our way. We do have a weather impact alert. This is for Sunday, tomorrow. Rain and thunderstorms are expected. That rain that's happening right now into the Midwest, coming all the way through the Mid-South, that's causing all that flooding, is going to start to be on the move. It's going to move out of that area. Good news for those people, but not so good for us because they could still be on the stronger side as they arrive throughout the day tomorrow. It looks like heavy rainfall and high winds will be our main concern. And because that ground could be a little bit saturated, we could be seeing some trees falling. So we want to make sure that you stay alert. Make sure you have your phones charged just in case you lose some power. This is a great time to prepare yourself now. As far as the severe weather threat is for your Sunday, you can see it has shifted and we are in a level 2 threat for the strong weather, heavy rainfall, high winds. Those are the two things that you need to know for your Sunday. Let's time it all out for you. What can you expect? When is it going to arrive? This is the latest forecast track. Sunday at 4:30 a.m. in northwest Georgia, you can see near Dalton. Maybe that's when some of that rainfall will be creeping in. This is a very slow moving system and it's going to continue to be slow moving. So because of that, it looks like here in metro Atlanta, even at 9 a.m., we won't be seeing that rainfall. However, some parts of Cobb could start to see that rain because it is coming in from the west. So Cobb County, you guys will be seeing that rainfall before we will here in Fulton County. Now, as we advance the futurecast around 2 p.m., that's when here in Atlanta, we could be starting to see that heavy rainfall really arrive. Some of us, though, could have really heavy pockets of rain and maybe even some of those high winds mixed in. And even at 6 p.m. on your Sunday, after that daytime heating starts, as the system moves off to the east, some places will definitely be seeing an increased risk for those high winds because it has gotten so warm throughout the day on your Sunday. Unfortunately, once that severe weather risk wraps up around 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow, that heavy rainfall will still be continuing throughout the overnight hours and into your Monday morning. So that's why we have that flash flood watch, because even after Monday morning, we'll start to see some places dry out. Like here in metro Atlanta before lunchtime, we should be completely dry. That cloud cover, though, could be holding in some of that moisture. And with this system moving so slow, some of us could be seeing some light afternoon showers and maybe even into the evening. But it will be late Monday night before the entire state of Georgia is completely dry from this rainfall that will be coming our way. And that is why we have this flood watch. It does include metro Atlanta, and it is from tomorrow morning until Monday afternoon because of that flooding threat. And as far as our rainfall totals are concerned, how much rainfall are we expecting? It looks like 2.5 inches here in Metro Atlanta. That will probably be what we can anticipate seeing. And that is literally from Sunday morning all the way into Monday night. And that's a large amount of rainfall to collect in a little amount of time. As far as your forecast wind gusts are concerned, we could be seeing winds gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour Sunday afternoon. This will be right along that main front line once we start to see some organization with that system as it pushes in. And then at 5 p.m. things start to calm down just a little bit for your Sunday, but then you can see that we could be seeing some of it ramp back up as we head overnight Sunday into your Monday. So a lot to unpack as well as far as the forecast winds are concerned. Once again, heavy rainfall and high winds. Those are the two things that we are definitely concerned about with this system as it pushes through. As far as rain chances are concerned, for the next 5 days after the rainfall moves through on Monday, we are going to be mostly dry throughout this week. So we're going to get some pretty heavy rainfall within the next 24 to 48 hours, but we're not seeing a lot of heavy rainfall coming until maybe even next weekend. This is a look at our long range futurecast. As we head into your Monday morning, this is another look at that low pressure system, the cold front that will be coming through for your Monday, dumping some rainfall on us, and then we get dry and clear and absolutely gorgeous out there as we head from your Tuesday until about Thursday. And then Friday morning we could wake up with some light rain as we head into your Friday morning, and maybe seeing some rainfall linger as we head into Saturday, but we're not seeing any huge, storm systems on the horizon after we get through Sunday. In fact, here's like that 7-day forecast for you. Sunday, there is a weather impact alert for the strong to severe weather. So there's a fair heads up for that. You want to make sure that you are aware that some of those storms could be on the stronger side as they push through. Heavy rainfall is definitely expected throughout the day. You want to make sure that you are weather and wear though, just in case you lose some power. And then on Monday, we start to see some of that rainfall dissipate just a little bit, especially as we get into the late evening hours. And then Tuesday, we will be dry, but we will be much cooler. You can see that's a big temperature drop. We're going to go from 81 on Sunday to 61 on Tuesday. So that's a big difference in our forecast. And that's because that cold front is so strong as it pushes through. Now, we'll start to warm up just a little bit as we head into your Wednesday and your Thursday. In fact, Thursday highs to be near 72 degrees, which is not too bad at all. And then Friday and Saturday, there's a light chance for some rain. That's why those temperatures drop back off. This is just that time of the year where you can expect to see some of that rain, but it will provide a little bit of relief for those of us that are suffering from allergies. Today, our pollen count was into the 6,000, so it's still elevated, not as high as what we saw last week with the record-breaking pollen, but it's still causing some concerns for people who have really bad allergies. Now, after we start to clear out for your Monday, we'll start to see that pollen count going back up as we head into your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, as we are in the peak of pollen season. So just prepare yourself. As of right now, we are just concerned though about your Sunday. So make sure that you are weather aware. Charge those phones, have multiple ways to get notifications just in case you are out and about on your Sunday. A lot of people are off. A lot of people are out for spring break, so you might not be in your normal location for those storms as they roll through. So just make sure you are prepared. And remember, if you're driving, don't drive through those floodwaters. If you see ponding water on those roadways, turn around, don't drown, don't get carried away, just in case there are some flooded areas out there. But for now, I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss. Will keep you updated right here on 11 Alive Plus.